So just a quick update. We are running on pretty well on time. We would like to try and get through 250 of the second round of the Open today. Just makes tomorrow that much easier. So all of those competitors that are in the second round of the Open, we are looking to get through 250 of you. Obviously that will depend how our afternoon runs, but that is our intention today. So please make sure you have your cattle picked and be ready to compete when the judge gives the go-ahead. We are starting off with competitor 101, Shari Knudsen. So big thank you to our partners here this weekend with Scott's Haulage, Rural Link, Injamira Herefords, Coprice, ECM Livestock, Westlink Petroleum, Terry Standing, Jordan Ag Services, Rich Living, Verbac, Western Truck Group, DZ Designs and Rosevale Santa Gertrudis. So big thank you to Henry Earthmoving for sponsoring the arena prep that we're doing here. So big thank you to Henry Earthmoving. They're one of our local earthmoving companies. Working in camp, we have competitor 101, Shari Knudsen and Floozy Cat. Tony Menkins will follow on Cahoots Easy Beat. 103 will be Justin Vivers, 104 William Tapp, 105 Tim McLaughlin and 106 Jim Lawton. Thanks, Shari. We'll have a score for Shari Knutson and Floozy Cat. She had an 86 in the first round. And we have a cutout of 14.5, horsework 55, course 4 for a 73.5. Together with that 86 is a 2-round total of 159.5. Tony Meekins and Cahoots Easy Beats goes out with a cutout score of 21. He had a 21 in the first round. That's 2-round total of 42. Justin Vivers, we now watch in camp. One of our local competitors on Nibrina Miss Menage. William Tapp will follow at 104 on Hotspot. 105 will be Tim McLaughlin and Peelvale Chick Swish. 106 Jim Lawton and Rumba. 107 Andrew Turvey and Sasson Bride. So just a reminder, we are looking to get to 250 tonight, if the daylight does allow us. So if you are here at the grounds and can spread the word for us, I do realise there's not a lot of noise out in the campground, so if you could please let everyone know. We are looking to make it to 250 tonight, if possible. Working out on course, we have Justin Vivers at 103 in the draw on Nibarina Miss Menage. We'll have a score there for Justin Vivers. He had an 88 in the first round, an 18.5 for the cutout, 60.5 for horsework and 4 for the course. Gives him a total of 83 and a 2-round total of 171. William Tapp, we move to in camp at 104 on Hotspot. Following William, we'll have 105 Tim McLaughlin, 106 Jim Lawton, 107 Andrew Turvey. Great to see some supporters up on the hill at the Outstation Water Main Bar. Looking pretty comfortable there on the Pump House Roma viewing hill. William Tapp and Hotspot come into the second round with a 77, and we'll have a score for you shortly of 21.5, 62 and 4 for an 87.5. That's a 21.5 for cutout, 62 for horsework and 4 for the course for an 87.5. Together with your 77 is a 2-round total of 164.5. Tim McLaughlin we move to in camp, now out on course on Peelvale Chick Swish, number 105. 106 will come into camp Jim Lawton and Rumba, standing by 107 Andrew Turvey and Sasson Bide. Thanks very much there. Tim McLaughlin at 105 on Peelvale Chick Swish. They come into the second round with an 84 and go out with a 21, 63 and 4 for an 88. 2-round total of 172. Jim Lawton we now have working in camp at 106 on Rumba. To the gate we'll need 107 Andrew Turvey and Sasson Bide. 108 will be Ben Hall and Hazelwood Coraline. 109, Tamara Bate and Rodell Trooper. 110 will be Cameron Webster and Bob. 111, John Mulcahy and Stratton Jester Charlotte. 112 will be Jason Comiskey and Dash. And 113, Bruce Myers and Rumba. But you're currently watching On Course, 106, Jim Lawton and Rumba.
Thank you, Lauren. Score for Jim Lawton and Rumba, cut out 20.5. Horsework 60.5. Course 4 for a total of 85 points with a 78 in the first round. That is an aggregate of 163 points for Jim Lawton and Rumba. You're watching competitor 107, Andrew Turvey and Sasson Bide. And we'll have a score for Andrew very shortly. 108's on camp, Ben Hall with Hazelwood Coraline. And here's a score, cut out 14, horsework 60.5, course 4 for a total of 78.5. 22 in the first round, an aggregate of 105. 105 for Andrew Turvey and Sasson Bide. Out on course is competitor 108, Ben Hall, Hazelwood Coraline, owned by Des Castine. Tamara Bate goes on camp at 109 with Rodell Trooper. Standing by then 110, Cameron Webster, 111, John Mulcahy. Score for Ben Hall and Hazelwood Coraline, cut out 22, horsework 55.5, 3 for the course, 80.5 total with an 83 in the first round. That is an aggregate of 163.5, 163.5 for Ben Hall and Hazelwood Coraline. 109 now on camp, Tamara Bate with Rodell Trooper. Standing by 110, Cameron Webster, 111, John Mulcahy, 112, Jason Comiskey, 113, Bruce Myers, 114, Harvey Wakeford, 115, Joe Hill, and 116 will be Hugh Miles. Please stand by. Unfortunately, that's a no score there for Tamara. She goes out with an aggregate of 20.5 of Tamara Bate and Rodell Trooper. Next on camp is 110, Cameron Webster, riding Bob. Standing by 111, John Mulcahy, 112, Jason Comiskey, 113, Bruce Myers, 114, Harvey Wakeford. Score for Cameron Webster and Bob, cut out 21.5. Horsework 54, course 3 for a total of 78.5 with an 89.5 in the first round. That is an aggregate of 168. 168 for Cameron Webster and Bob. John Mulcahy's on course. He comes in as competitor 111, riding Stratton just to Charlotte. Jason Comiskey goes on camp at 112, standby 113, Bruce Myers, 114, Harvey Wakeford, 115, Joel Hill, 116, Hugh Miles, 117, Royston Carter, 118, Tom Wallace, 119, Ty Blockland, 120, Jack Cable, 121, Michael Hayes. I'm sure Lauren mentioned before, we are going to try to get to 250 this afternoon. We're on track at this stage. Score for John Mulcahy, Stratton just a Charlotte, cut out 21.5, horsework 59, course 4 for a total of 84.5. The 79.5 in the first round is an aggregate of 164, 164 for John Mulcahy, Stratton just a Charlotte. 112 on camp, Jason Comiskey and Dash, standby 113, Bruce Myers.
Score there for Jason Comiskey and Dash, 22 for cutout, 58 for horsework, 3 for the course, a total of 83. Unfortunately, they had a no score yesterday morning, so they leave with a 2-round aggregate of 83 points for Jace Comiskey and Dash. Bruce Myers is in the camp. He's looking over his cattle at 113, riding Roomba. Standby 114, Harvey Wakeford, Zamora. 115 is Joel Hill, Hill Vista, Olivia. 116 we'll see Hugh Miles, Gitter. And 117, Royston Carter and Massa. This is the second round of the McKechnie Earth Moving Open Camp Draft. We're sorting out some cattle here. Big thanks to Willinga Pastoral Co. and all of their team. You'll see the wonderful staff in and out of the yard helping out. Lots of hands on deck to make an event like this run. Big thank you to all of the team at Willinga Pastoral Co. He's made his selection. This is competitor number 113, Bruce Myers and Roomba. This particular entry is owned by MD Enterprises, and Bruce comes to us from Bundaberg. Harvey Wakeford moves into the camp on Zamora. Standby 115, Joel Hill, Hill Vista, Olivia. Likewise 116, Hugh Miles and Jetta. Score there for Bruce Myers and Roomba, 22 for cutout, 53.5 for horsework, 3 for the course, a total of 78.5. With a 20 in round 1, they go away with a 2-round aggregate of 98.5 for Bruce Myers and Roomba, the MD Enterprises nomination. Harvey Wakeford is working in camp now. Harvey is competitor number 114. He rides Zamora on behalf of Justine Douglas. Joel Hill, you stand by on Hill Vista, Olivia, 115. Likewise, 116, Hugh Miles, Jitter. 117, Royston Carter, Massa. 118, Tom Wallace, Water Playboy. 119, Ty Blokeland on Wanna Look Sometime. And 120, Jack Cable and Chevin Pearl. On course, though, this is competitor number 114, Harvey Wakeford and Zamora. Thanks, Harvey. Score there for Harvey Wakeford, Zamora. 22 for cutout, 53 for horsework, 3 for the course, a total of 78. 22, 53 and 3 at 78 in round 2 with an 87.5 in round 1. They go away with a 2-round aggregate of 165.5 for Harvey Wakeford and Zamora. We now move to competitor number 115, Joel Hill, riding Hill Vista, Olivia. Standby 116, Hugh Miles on Jitter. 117, Royston Carter and Massa, you aren't too far away. Lovely to see so many of our wonderful sponsors here and enjoying the camp drafting live action here in this second round of the McKechnie Earth Moving Open Draft. Without our wonderful supporters and sponsors, this event would not be feasible, so we're so grateful. We look forward to continuing to catch up with them across the course of the weekend. The trade sites are set up, so make sure you head on up and catch up with some of the great suppliers, some of the people who've been involved in the great development of this amazing facility here at Juandah Plains. Score there for Joel Hill and Hill Vista Olivia, 21 for cutout, 54.5 for horsework, 3 for the course, a total of 78.5. 21, 54.5 and 3, a total of 78.5. With an 86 in round 1, they go away with a 2-round aggregate of 164.5. 164.5 for Joel Hill and Hill Vista Olivia. Tamworth competitor in camp, this is Hugh Miles, number 116, riding his own entry in Jitter. Hugh will be followed by 117, Royston Carter's Massa. Stand by 118, Tom Wallace, What a Playboy. 119, Ty Blokeland, Wanna Look Sometime. 120, Jack Cable, Chevin Black Pearl. 121, Michael Hayes' Merle. 122, Alex Pope on Scooby. And 123, John Turvey, Willinga Park Flow. On course proper though, this is competitor number 116, Hugh Miles riding Jitter. Hugh makes his home up there, well, rather down there at Tamworth. He's a horse trainer and breeder, part of the Willinga Park competitor team. We saw him compete on some of Terry's horses earlier in the day. On this occasion, he rides Jitter and straight through the middle. Hey, diddle diddle. The score will come through for you, Huey Miles, competitor number 116. Score for Hugh Miles, 17.5 for cutout, 61.5 for horsework. 4 for the course, a total of 83. 17.5, 61.5 and 4, a total of 83. With a 22 in round 1, they go away with a 2-round aggregate of 105 for Hugh Miles and Jitter. Unfortunately for Royston Carter and Massa, they go away with no score today. Didn't have a great day yesterday, so it's a 2-round aggregate of 0, unfortunately, for Royston. We will clear that beast from the camp and go ahead with competitor number 118, Tom Wallace, and What a Playboy. 119, You Stand By, Ty Blokeland on Wanna Look Sometime. Likewise, 120, Jack Cable's Black Pearl. Judges call forward competitor number 118, Tom Wallace, riding Alan Wallace's entry in What a Playboy. Tom comes from Clark Creek, competing here in this second round of the McKechnie Earth Moving Open here at the Willinga at Juandah Plains, the inaugural event. On course is the call, and out he goes. This is 118. Tom Wallace, What a Playboy. 119 into the camp, please. Ty Blokeland, Wanna Look Sometime. 120, You Stand By, Jack Cable, Chevin Black Pearl. 121, Michael Hayes and Merle. Score there for Tom Wallace and What a Playboy. 14 points for cutout, 60 for horsework, 4 for the course. a total of 78, 14, 60 and 4. 78 in round 2. With a 79.5 in round 1, they go away with a 2-round aggregate of 157.5. That's Tom Wallace, Water Playboy, 157.5 over 2. On course now, this is competitor number 119, Ty Blokeland. Comes from Adelaide River and rides his entry in Wanna Look Sometime. Score there for Ty Blokeland of 22 for cutout, 22 points in round 1, round 2 rather, 71.5 in round 1, a 2-round aggregate, 93.5 for Ty Blokeland and Wanna Look Sometime. Jack Cable is working his beast in camp. He is riding his entry, Chevin Black Pearl. Jack comes from Rydell down there in New South Wales. Outside's the call. 121 moves into the yard, please. Michael Hayes on Merle. 122, Alex Pope. You stand by on Arcree Scooby Doc. 123, John Turvey will ride Willinga Park Flow. 124, Daniel Cheers Streamer. 125, Wyatt Young, Condoleezza Smooth. 126, Rowan Marks, Turner's Stud Cowboy. And 127, we will see Troy Palmer and Binia Sniper. Outside now, though, negotiating a second peg and looking for a gate. This is Jack Cable and Chevin Pearl. Thank you, Jack. A score will come through from our wonderful judges, Mr. Tony Hick and Mr. Tom Williamson. Score there for Jack Cable of 13 for cutout, 62 for horsework, 4 for the course, a total of 79. 13, 62 and 4 for a 79 in round 2. A 20 in round 1 gives them a 2-round aggregate of 99 points. 99 points there for Jack Cable and Chevin Black Pearl. Michael Hiscock is in camp. He rides Michael Hayes is in camp rather, riding Merle on behalf of Michael and Beck Hayes. One of the really good guys at camp drafting is Michael Hayes. He'll be followed by 122, Alex Pope on Arcree Scooby Doc. 123, John Turvey, you stand by. Likewise, 124, Daniel Cheers and Cheers Streamer. Outside, we are watching Michael Hayes, competitor number 121, and his entry Merle, looking for a gate here in this second round of the McKechnie Earth Moving Open Camp Draft. The big event on the program here for the Willinga at Juandah Plains. And we have a score of 19.5 for cutout, 59.5 for horsework, 4 for the course, a total of 83. 19.5, 59.5 and 4 for an 83 in round 2. Round 1 was a 70.5, so Michael Hayes and Merle go away with a 153.5. Sorry, Mick. Michael Hayes and Merle have a 2-round aggregate of 153.5. Alex Pope calls for the gate. She heads outside. Competitor number 122, riding Arcree Scooby Doc. John Turvey moves into the yard. 123, Willinga Park Flow. Stand by. 124, Dan Cheers Streamer. 125, Wyatt Young, Condoleezza Smooth, and 126, Rowan Marks, Turner Stud Cowboy. Score of 20 for Cutout there. Al, 20 points for Alex Pope in round 2 with a 20 in round 1. They go away with a 2-round aggregate of 40 points. John Turvey's in camp. He is competitor number 123, riding the Willinga Park entry in Willinga Park Flow. Great to welcome Jeanette Snow here to Juandah Plains today. She arrived. Got an opportunity to catch up with Jeanette earlier, so make sure she's taking lots of lovely photos, so make sure you do say hello. She'll take particular notice of this entry in Willinga Park Flow, ridden on this occasion by John Turvey. Daniel Cheers, you stand by, 124 on Cheers Streamer. 125, Wyatt Young, you're not too far away. Would have been a great outcome with those other couple of pegs, Turv. Unfortunately for John, it's a 13.5 in round 2 with an 87.5 in round 1. They go away with a 2-round aggregate of 101 for Johnny Turvey and the Willinga Park entry in Willinga Park Flow. Daniel Cheers is in camp, riding the Cheers family's Streamer. 125, Wyatt Young, you stand by on Condoleezza Smooth. 126, Rowan Marks, Turner Stud Cowboy. 127, Troy Palmer, Binia Sniper. 128, Matt Durkin's Fancy Man. 129, Morgan Farndon on Jazz. And 130, Toby Rofe on Holly. We're watching now Glen Innes competitor Dan Cheers, riding Daniel and Rachel's entry in Cheers Streamer. Bad luck, Cheersy. 14.5 for Cutout for Daniel Cheers and Cheers Streamer with a 23 in round 1. They go away with a 2-round aggregate of 37.5 for Daniel Cheers and Cheers Streamer. In camp now, making his selection. This is Wyatt Young on Condoleezza Smooth. Wyatt is a Tamworth competitor. Turned up with a big team of horses to take part here in the inaugural event at Juandah Plains. On course proper. 125, Wyatt Young. Into the camp, please. 126, Rowan Marks, Turner Stud Cowboy. 127, Troy Palmer, you stand by on Binia Sniper. Score there for Wyatt Young and Condoleezza Smooth. 21 points for Cutout, 59 for Horsework, 4 for the course, a total of 84. 21, 59 and 4, an 84 in round 2 with a 77 in round 1. 2-round aggregate for Wyatt Young and Condoleezza Smooth of 161. 161 for Wyatt Young and Condoleezza Smooth. On course we watch 126, Rowan Marks, and that great horse in Turner Stud Cowboy, owned by Shane Turner. Rowan will be followed by 127, Troy Palmer, Binia Sniper, into the camp. At the gate, rather. 128, Matt Durkin, Fancy Man. Thanks, Rowan. Score there for Rowan Marks and Turner Stud Cowboy. 21.5 for Cutout. 61.5 for Horsework. 4 for the course, a total of 87. 21.5, 61.5 and 4 for an 87 in round 2. A 21.5 in round 1. Give them a 2-round aggregate of 108.5. 108.5 for Rowan Marks and Turner Stud Cowboy. Caller competitor we watch. This is Troy Palmer riding Troy and Fiona Palmer's Binia Sniper. Troy will be followed by 128 Matthew Durkin's Fancy Man. Standby 129 Morgan Farndon Jazz. 130 will be Toby Rove Holly. 131 Vicky Evans Talawal Classic Destiny. And 132 Tommy Denson will ride Hazelwood Mike Honacre. Working in camp though, this is competitor number 127 Troy Palmer and Binia Sniper. Troy Palmer we're watching. Looking for a second peg here. Troy, part of the Willinga team. One of their riders on this occasion though, he is riding Binia Sniper on behalf of Troy and Fee. Thanks Troy. We will have a score for Troy Palmer and Binia Sniper, competitor number 127. 128 in camp, looking over his cattle. This is Matt Durkin riding Fancy Man. Morgan Farndon, you please stand by on Jazz at 129. Score for Troy Palmer's Binia Sniper. 15 for Cutout, 59.5 for Horsework, 4 for the course, a total of 78.5. With an 87.5 in round 1, they have a 2-round aggregate of 166. 166 points for Troy Palmer and Binia Sniper. Matt Durkin's working in camp on Fancy Man. Morgan Farndon, you stand by 129 on Jazz. 130 Toby Rove Holly. 131 Vicky Evans on Talawal Classic Destiny. Not to be, unfortunately, for Matt Durkin and Fancy Man. They head out with a no score today. Morgan Farndon, you be ready to move into the yard on Jazz at 129. 130, Toby Rove, you're not too far away. In the instance that you just joined us, or in fact you might be trying to work out what it's all for, the winner of this McKechnie Earth Moving Open Draft will in fact be taking home a $50,000 cheque, along with a beautiful gold Ride Tough buckle. We've also got on display over there in the Condabri Beef Sponsors Marquee the beautiful bronze handmade by the very talented Jay Hall. So make sure you hop over and have a look at the amazing perpetual bronze that has been beautifully handcrafted by Jay Hall. Big thank you also to Toowoomba Wholesale Horse Warehouse for providing the embroidered rug for the winner of this McKechnie Earth Moving Open, as well as Champion Choice brow bands for the most stunning garland. All of those trophies are on display over at the Condabri Beef Sponsors Marquee, so jump on over and have a look what we're battling for, folks. This is the second round. We are up to competitor number 129, Morgan Farndon, and she is riding Jazz. 130, standby Toby Rove's Holly. 131, Vicky Evans, Talawal Classic Destiny. 132, Tom Denson, Hazelwood Mike Honacre. 133, Matt Moffat will be back on Play Like Royalty. 134, Wayne Deneen's Gunman. And 135, Joe Payne on Coal Black. Morgan Farndon we watch though. Competitor hailing from Roma, riding B&S Graham's entry Jazz. 20 points for cutout there. Morgan, 20 points in round 2 with a 72.5 in round 1. Go out with a 2-round aggregate of 92.5. 92.5 for Morgan Farndon and Jazz. Barrel competitor in camp. This is 130, Toby Rofe, and his own entry in Holly. Toby will be followed by 131, Vicky Evans, Tallawal Classic Destiny. Stand by 132, Tom Denson and Hazelwood, Mike Honacre. Unfortunately for Toby today, they go out with a no score in round 2. So we'll head home with the 2-round aggregate of 83.5 for Toby, Rofe and Holly. Once again, the great team from Willinga Pastoral Co. jump in and tidy up that camp for us. Always looking after our beautiful cattle. Without our wonderful cattle, we certainly wouldn't be running this event. So we're grateful to the team at Willinga Pastoral Co. for ensuring that all the competitors are having a fair attempt. Thank you, boys, for clearing that yard. We'll go ahead with competitor number 131, Vicky Evans and Tallawal Classic Destiny. 132, Tom Denson, you stand by on Hazelwood and Mike Honacre. Likewise, 133, Matt Moffat and Play Like Royalty. Bad luck there, Vicky. No score there for Vicky Evans and Tallawal Classic Destiny. So they leave with their score from yesterday of 81.5 over the 2 rounds. Vicky Evans and Tallawal Classic Destiny. Tom Denson moves into the yard. Tom is riding his own entry in Hazelwood, Mike Honacre. Used to be from down in the south, now makes his home up here in sunny Queensland. 133, Matt Moffat, you stand by on Play Like Royalty. 134, Wayne Deneen, Gunman, you're not too far away. Likewise, 135, Joe Payne and Cole Black. 136, we'll see Ken Knutson, Kilbeg and Karma. 137, Beck Hayes, Shadak Audi. 138, Barry Johnson's Duke. 139, Rick Hopkins, Almora, Peppy Style. And 140 will be Jody Cowley's Metal Storm. In camp now, though, looking over his cattle, this is 132, Tom Denson and Hazelwood, Mike Honacre. Bad luck, Tommy. No joy for Tom Denson and Hazelwood Mike Honaker. They go home with yesterday's score of 64.5. We will clear the camp and go with competitor number 133, Matt Moffat, and Play Like Royalty. 134, Wayne Deneen, you stand by on Gunman. 135, Joe Payne, Coal Black. And 136, Ken Knutson and Kilbeggan Karma. Matt Moffat we watch, riding Play Like Royalty, entry owned by Ryder Yates. Matt makes his home up there at Cabra, Central Queensland. Made a trip down with a big string of horses. He's been an informed competitor, having won the World Championships down there at Sydney earlier this year. Matt will be followed by 134, Wayne Deneen, Gunman. Stand by 135, Joe Payne, Coal Black. Kenny Knutson will ride at 136, and 137 will be Beck Hayes and Shadak Audi. Thank you, Matt. Score will come through for Matthew Moffat and Ryder Yates' entry in Play Like Royalty. Score of 13.5 for cutout, 55 for horsework, 4 for the course, a total of 72.5. 13.5, 55 and 4 for a 72.5 in round 2. 86.5 in round 1 gives them a 2-round aggregate of 159 for Matthew Moffat and Play Like Royalty. We now move our attention to competitor number 134, Wayne Deneen, riding Gunman. Wayne will be followed by 135, Joe Payne, Coal Black. Stand by at 136, Ken Knutson and Kilbeggan Karma. Bad luck to Wayne, 20.5 for round 2 with a 20.5 in round 1, a 2-round aggregate of 41 points. 41 points for Wayne Deneen and Gunman. Joe Payne's in camp. He rides Coal Black at run 135. This particular horse is owned by Brett and Wendy Kerr. Joe and Lex and Little Kenny make their home at Mundubra. A great competitor. Great contributors to the sport is Joe Payne, and the entry owned by Brett and Wendy Kerr in Coal Black. 136, Kenny Knutson, you stand by on Kilbeggan Karma. Likewise, 137, Beck Hayes and Shadak Audi. 138, Barry Johnson's Duke. And 139, Rick Hopkins, Almora Pepe Style. Bad luck there, Joe. 14.5 for cutout. in round 2, 85.5 in round 1. You go home with a 2-round aggregate of 100 points. 2 rounds there for Joe Payne and Cole Black, a score of 100. Ken Knutson moves into the camp, compared to number 136, riding Kilbeggan Karma. 137, Beck Hayes, you stand by on Shadak Audi. And 138, Barry Johnson and Duke. You're not too far away. Judges give the nod to competitor number 136, Ken Knutson, riding Kilbeggan Karma. Entry owned by Ken and Jackie. Make their home just across the way here at Kilbeggan. We wish him well. This is Ken Knutson, competitor number 136, riding Kilbeggan Karma. 137, Beck Hayes, you're in the camp, please, on Shadak Audi. Stand by 138, Barry Johnson's Duke. 139, Rick Hopkins, Almora Peppy Style. 140, Jody Cowley and Metal Storm. 141, Jay Hall, Say Play. 142, Lachlan Thompson's Reset. 143, Mark Buttsworth will ride One Stylish Pepto. 144, Jamie Gray and Duck and Down. And 145 will be Bryony Puttycombe and Time Checks. 20 points for cutout there, Kenny. 20 points for Ken Knutson and Kilbeggan Karma with a 20.5 in round 1. They go home with a 2-round aggregate of 40.5 for Ken Knutson and Kilbeggan Karma. 137, we watch This is Beck Hayes and her entry in Shadak Audi. Beck will be followed by 138, Barry Johnson. Stand by 139, Rick Hopkins, Almora Peppy Style. Thanks, Beck. We will have a score for the lovely Beck Hayes and Shadak Audi. Competitor number 137. A score of 15 for cutout, 59 for horsework, 4 for the course, a total of 78. 15, 59 and 4, a total of 78. With an 88 yesterday in round 1, they get a 2-round aggregate of 166 points. Beck, 166 for Beck Hayes and Shadak Audi. Barry Johnson, we watch. He's competitor number 138. He rides his entry Duke. Stand by 139, Rick Hopkins, Amora Peppy Style. 140, Jody Cowley's Metal Storm. And 141 will be Jay Hall and Say Play. Outside, though, this is Barry Johnson riding Duke. Made the trip from Hewenden into the camp. 139, Rick Hopkins, Almora Peppy Style. Score of 21.5 for Cutout Barry. 21.5 with an 83.5 in round one. They go home with a 2-round aggregate of 105 points for Barry Johnson's Duke. Rick Hopkins is in camp 139, riding Almora Pepe Style on behalf of Kerry Hamilton. Rick will be followed by 140, Jody Cowley on Metal Storm. Standby 141, Jay Hall, Say Play. 142, Lachlan Thompson's Reset. 143, Mark Buttsworth, 1 Stylish Pepto. And 144, Jamie Gray, Duck and Down. This is Rick Hopkins, though. He is competitor number 139. Score for Rick Hopkins of 20.5 in round 2 with an 84 in round 1. They go home with a 2-round aggregate of 104.5. 104.5 over 2 rounds for Rick Hopkins and Almora Pepe Style. Working in camp now, this is Jody Cowley. She's competitor number 140 and is riding her own entry in Metal Storm. Jody will be followed by Jay Hall, competitor number 141 on Say Play. Standby 142, Lachlan Thompson and Reset. On course, looking for a second peg, is Jody Cowley and her heavy metal gelding in Metal Storm. Jay Hall moves into the camp on Say Play 141. Standby 142, Lachlan Thompson's Reset. Jody Cowley and Metal Storm get a 13.5 for Cutout, a 61.5 for Horsework, a 4 for the course for a 79, 13.5, 61.5 and 4 for a 79 in round 2. Unfortunately, no luck yesterday, so they take that 79 over 2 rounds for Jody Cowley and Metal Storm. Jay Hall we're watching, competitor number 141. Makes a home up there between Julia Creek and Muttaburra. Jay is riding her own entry in Say Play. Lachlan Thompson moves into camp 142. Standby 143. Mark Buttsworth, 1 Stylish Pepto. Jamie Gray, you'll ride at 144 on Duck and Down. 145, Bryony Puttycombe, Time Checks. 146, Pete Knutson, Kilbeg and Kimberley. 147, Kurt Hanrahan, PV, Grasshopper. And 148 will be Gordon Bales and Brandy's Spoonful. Thank you, Jay. We'll have a score for Jay Hall and Say Play. As I said, make sure you go over to the Condabri Beef Sponsors Marquee and have a look at that magnificent perpetual trophy for this McKechnie Earth-Moving Open Draft that Jay herself created. An amazing horsewoman, but also a beautiful artist as well. So go and have a look at Jay's beautiful bronze over in the Condabri Beef Sponsors Marquee. What we can tell you is a score for Jay Hall of 20, 59 and 4 for an 83. 20 points for Cutout. 59 for Horsework. 4 for the course for an 83 in round 2. With an 85 in round 1, they have a 2-round aggregate of 168 for Jay Hall and Say Play. 168 over 2 for Jay Hall and Say Play. Lachlan Thompson's working in camp. He's competitor number 142, riding Reset. His own entry. Into the camp after Lachlan will be 143, Mark Buttsworth on 1 Stylish Pepto. Standby at 144, Jamie Gray, Duck and Down. $14.5 for Cutout Lachlan, 14.5 for Lachlan Thompson's Reset. With a 76 yesterday, they go away with a 2-round aggregate of 90.5 for Lachlan Thompson and Reset. looking to find his way to the front of the yard. This is Mark Buttsworth riding One Stylish Pepto, that great horse owned by the One More Syndicate. Onto the course proper. 144, Jamie Gray, you head into the yard. 145, Bryony Puttycombe, stand by on time checks. That is not how you wanted that one to go, Butsy. 23 for cutout in round 2. 84.5 in round 1 yesterday. They go home with a 2-round aggregate of 107.5 for Mark Buttsworth and that beautiful horse we all love in One Stylish Pepto. Jamie Gray's working in camp, riding his entry Duck and Down. Another great horse we've seen have so much success. Bryony Puttycombe moves into the yard. 145 on time checks. Stand by. 146. Peter Knutson and Kilbeggan Kimberley. Score there for Jamie Gray and Duck and Down. 21 for cutout, 63 for horsework, 4 for the course, a total of 88. 21, 63 and 4 for a lovely 88 in round 2 with an 85.5 in round 1. Jamie Gray and Duck and Down go home with a 173.5 over 2 rounds. A 173.5 over 2 rounds for Jamie Gray and Duck and Down. Move our attention to Nebo Horsewoman by Bryony Puttycombe, competitor number 145, riding Pete Comiskey's entry in time checks. Stand by 146, Pete Knutson, Kilbeggan Kimberley, likewise 147, Kurt Hanrahan, PV Grasshopper. 148 will be Gordon Bales, Brandy's Spoonful. Laurie Beard will ride Stylish at 149, and 150 will be Kristen Pearce and Annie Oakley. Outside's the call, though, for competitor number 145. Bryony Puttycombe and time checks. Score there for Bryony Puttycombe and time checks. 19.5 for cutout, 55 for horsework, 4 for the course, a total of 78.5. 19.5, 55 and 4 for a 78.5 in round 2. 86.5 yesterday gives Bryony Puttycombe and time checks a 2-round aggregate of 165. We now move our attention to local competitor 146, Peter Knutson and Kilbeggan Kimberley. Lovely mare owned by Wayne Knutson. Unfortunately, Pete, today we don't get to see the best of her. They go out with a no score today, going home with the aggregate from yesterday of 87.5. For Pete Knutson, Kilbeggan Kimberley. 147 will move into the yard once that beast is clear. That is Kurt Hanrahan and PV Grasshopper. Stand by 148, Gordon Bales, Brandy's Spoonful. 149 will be Laurie Beard Stylish. 150, Kristen Pearce, Annie Oakley. 151, Pete Black will be back on Child Play. And 152, White Young, Binia Milan. Thanks, as always, to our wonderful competitors getting in and helping clear the arena. Jumping on some gates across the course of the weekend, making the event run smoothly. So a big thank you to everyone who's been jumping in and doing their bit to make this event run so smoothly. We're on our second day and got a couple of big days of camp drafting coming our way yet. We are right now in the middle of the second round of the McKechnie Earth-Moving Open Draft under the watchful eye of our judges. Tony Hick making the trek down with his lovely wife Lindy from Julia Creek, and Tom Williamson. Tommy makes his home at Glen Innes. So thank you to our wonderful judges. A great contribution to the sport when you are overseeing proceedings, and a big job here with this wonderful event at Juandah Plains. So big thanks to everyone who's making it happen. The competitor who wants to have his turn now, though, this is 147. Kurt Hanrahan, riding Kurt and Erica Hanrahan's entry PV Grasshopper. Standby 148, Gordon Bales, Brandy's Spoonful. Likewise 149, Laurie Beard and Stylish. Scott, if you could please go over and see the timer, that would be great. Thanks. Scott, when you get a chance, if you could duck over and see the timer, that would be wonderful. Thanks, Kurt. We will have a score for you. 22 for cutout, 49 for horsework, 3 for the course, a total of 74. 22, 49 and 3, a 74 in round 2. With an 89 in round 1, that gives Kurt Hanrahan and PV Grasshopper a 2-round aggregate of 163. 163 for you, Kurt Hanrahan and PV Grasshopper. Gordon Bales is working in camp. He is competitor number 148, riding Brandy's Spoonful. Following Gordon, 149, Laurie Beard Stylish. Standby, 150, Kristen Pearce and Annie Oakley. 151, Pete Black's Child Play. 152, Wyatt Young, Binia Milan. 153, Hugh Miles, More Spoonful. 154, Alan Heading, Macklemore. And 155 will be Lindsay Hindle and Smith Family, Smooth Touch. Working in camp, though, this is competitor number 148, Gordon Bales and Brandy's Spoonful. Score of 14.5 for cutout Gordon in round 2 with a 21 in round 1. Gives you a 2-round aggregate of 35.5. 35.5 for Gordon Bales and Brandy's Spoonful. Laurie Beard's in camp. He's competitor number 149 and riding Stylish. Following Laurie, 150, Kristen Pearce, You Be Ready on Annie Oakley. 151, Pete Black, Child Play, You're Not Too Far Away. On course, we're watching 149, Laurie Beard, and his entry Stylish. Into the camp moves 150, Kristen Pearce, Annie Oakley. 151, Pete Black, Child Play, Standby. Likewise, 152, Wyatt Young, Binia Milan. Make sure while you're here, you jump up and have a look and a visit with our vendor trade stalls. KDB Western Wear is here with all your men's and ladies' clothing. Ivy and Gus is a boutique leather goods, bags and clutches, as well as Life Flight, which has got some of the great informational stuff up there of the wonderful service that Life Flight provide for rural and regional communities. So be sure to drop up and see our vendor trade stores. We also have wonderful sponsor trade stalls. The Pump House, I've had the chance to catch up with some of these trade stalls, and I tell you what, the service and products that these guys have on offer already under use here within the Willinga agricultural aggregation. Pump House is here. We've got Verback, Sally Gavin and Adriana Potts are here. Revive Timber and Deck Maintenance, as well as Western Truck Group, Alan Clark. So be sure to go and support our sponsor trade stores across the next couple of days. Plenty of great people to chat with. Kristen Pearce, we're watching. Taroom Lady riding Kristen and Jay's entry in Annie Oakley. Unfortunately though, Kissy, I can give you a 21-foot cutout today in round 2 with your 20.5. In round 1, you go home with a 2-round aggregate of 41.5 for Kristen Pearce and Annie Oakley. We're at the 50 mark, so 151. Pete Black is receiving a new pen of cattle. 152, Wyatt Young would be watching on intently, riding Binia Milan. Standby 153, Hugh Miles, more spoonful. Hey, Scott from IT, if we could get you to jump down and catch up with the electronic timer, that would be great. Scott from IT, if you could please go and see the crew manning the electric timer, that would be wonderful. Cattle out, cattle in. Competitor number 151, Peter Black. He is riding his entry, Child Play. Pete will be followed by 152, Wyatt Young, Binia Milan. 153, Huey Miles, more spoonful. 154, Alan Heading, Macklemore. 155, Lindsay Hindle, Smith Family, Smooth Touch. 156, Roger Boschhammer on Nearbo, Serena. 157, Penny McIntosh, Coolum Trinket. 158, Pete Comiskey, on PC Polaris. 159, Sky Randazzo on Romeo's Child. And 160, David Murphy and Mobile Blue Angel. But in camp, looking over his cattle, alpha competitor Pete Black and Child Play, competitor number 151.
Thank you so much, Heidi. We are now currently at Peter Black and Chol Play. He had a score of 23, 62.5, and 4 for an 89.5, with an 80.5 in the first round is an aggregate of 170, 170. 152 now on camp, White Young with Bina Milan. Standing by 153, Hugh Miles, 154, Alan Heading, 155, Lindsay Hindle, 156, Roger Boschhammer, 157, Penny McIntosh, 158, Pete Comiskey, 159, Sky Randazzo, 160, David Murphy, 161, Zane Haberman. We'll have a score shortly for competitor 152, White Young and Bina Milan. Cut out 13.5 with a 68.5 in the first round is a two-round total, an aggregate of 82 points. 82 points for White Young and Bina Milan. Looking over his cattle now is competitor 153, Hugh Miles and More Spoonful. Standing by them 154, Alan Heading, 155, Lindsay Hindle, 156, Roger Boschhammer, 157, Penny McIntosh, 158, Pete Comiskey, 159, Sky Randazzo, 160, David Murphy. Score for Hugh Miles and More Spoonful, cut out 21.5 with an 88 in the first round. That's an aggregate of 109.5. 109.5, Hugh Miles, More Spoonful. Next competitor 154, Alan Heading. He rides Macklemore. Standing by then 155, Lindsay Hindle, 156, Roger Boschhammer, 157, Penny McIntosh, 158, Pete Comiskey, 159, Sky Randazzo, 160, David Murphy, 161, Zane Haberman, 162, Jason Lindley, and 163 will be Amy Jamieson. Please stand by. Cut out 21, horsework 60, course 4 for an 85 with an 82 in the first round. That's an aggregate of 167, 167 for Alan Heading and Macklemore. We now have Lindsay Hindle on camp at 155, riding Smith Family Smooth Touch. Out on course, 155, Lindsay Hindle and Smith Family Smooth Touch. Roger Boschhammer goes on camp at 156. Standing by 157, Penny McIntosh, 158, Pete Comiskey. Cut out 19.5, horsework 61, course 4 for a total of 84.5 with a 77.5 in the first round. That is an aggregate of 162 points, 162 for Lindsay Hindle and Smith Family Smooth Touch. Now on campus compared to 156, Roger Boschhammer and Nerabo Serena. Roger is one of our sponsors this week, so very big thank you to Tam and Roger Boschhammer. Just take this opportunity to mention the sponsor trade stalls, the Pump House, Shane Steer, Verback, Sally Gavin and Adriana Potts. Revive Timber and Deck Maintenance, that's Jono, Sophie and Michelle. And the Western Truck Group, Erin Clark. Please go and visit them if you'd like to know anything about their products. And we'll have a score coming through very shortly for Roger Boschhammer. That's a cutout of 14 only with a 20.5 in the first round. That is an aggregate of 34.5. 34.5 for Roger Boschhammer and Nerabo Serena. This is Ellen C. Stewart's nomination, ridden by Penny McIntosh, Coolum Trinket. She comes in as compared to 157. Standing by 158, Pete Comiskey, 159, Sky Randazzo, 160, David Murphy, 161, Zane Habman, 162, Jason Lindsay, Lee, 163, Amy Jamison, 164, Jacinta Brennan, 165, Kerry Turner. You're currently watching competitor 157, Penny McIntosh and Coolum Trinket. Please check out our vendor trade stalls as well. KDB Western Wear, they have men's and ladies' wear, a very big range over there. I've went and checked them out before. Katie's there ready to outfit you. Ivy and Gus have a boutique leather goods, bags and clutches, and Life Flight has an information stand. So if you've got 5 minutes, go and have a look at the vendor trade stalls. Okay. Cut out 14.5, horsework 54.5, course 3 for a total of 72 with the 70 in the first round. That is a aggregate of 142. 142 for Penny McIntosh and Coolum Trinket. Out on course, competitor 158, Pete Comiskey and PC Polaris. 159 goes on camp, Sky Randazzo. Standing by 160, David Murphy. 161, Zane Haberman. 162, Jason Lindley. 163, Amy Jamieson. 164, Jacinta Brennan. 165, Kerry Turner. 166, Cara Knudsen. Just take this opportunity to thank all of the competitors for their cooperation throughout the day. We have really appreciated the fact that you've really tried to assist us to get through as many runs as possible for the day. We are still looking at trying to complete 250 runs before darkness sets in. So just thanks again for everyone's cooperation. Cut out a 12.5, horsework 53.5, course 3 for a total of 69 with an 85.5 in the first round is an aggregate of 154.5 for Pete Comiskey and PC Polaris. Sky Randazzo is our next competitor. She comes in as competitor 159 with Romeo's Child. Standing by 160, David Murphy. 161, Zane Haberman. No score there for Sky Randazzo and Romeo's Child. At a 20 in the first round, that's an aggregate of 20 points. Next competitor, as soon as the camp is clear, will be competitor 160, David Murphy and Mobile Blue Angel. Standing by 161, Zane Haberman. 162, Jason Lindley. 163, Amy Jamieson. 164, Jacinta Brennan. 165, Kerry Turner. 166, Cara Knudsen. And 167, Hayley Condon. Take this opportunity to thank our judges this afternoon, Tom Williamson and Tony Hick, judging the McKechnie Earth Moving Open Camp Draft, round 2. Out on course, competitor 160, David Murphy and Mobile Blue Angel. David hails from Talbot. Into the camp goes competitor 161, Zane Haberman. Stand by 162, Jason Lindley. Cut out 20.5, horsework 51.5, 3 for the course for a 75 with an 83 in the first round. That's an aggregate of 158 points for David Murphy and Mobile Blue Angel. You're now watching competitor 161, Zane Haberman and Bluey. So a big thank you to Zane and Tim Hollis. They have been our judges for the Collier's Agribusiness Maiden Campdraft. Still got more work to do tomorrow, but big thank you to Zane. And he's out on course. Competitor 61, riding Bluey. 162's on camp, Jason Lindley, standing by 163, Amy Jamieson. Cut out 21, horsework 57, course 4 for an 82 with a 77.5 in the first round. We just have some changes there. Just having a change to that score. We'll give you the score again very shortly. Cut out 21, horsework 62, course 4 for an 87. 87 with a 77.5 in the first round gives an aggregate of 164.5 for Zane Haberman and Bluey. That's 164.5. 162, Jason Lindley on Genuine Checks is our next competitor. Standing by 163, Amy Jamieson, 164, Jacinta Brennan. There was a 22 only there for Jason Lindley and Genuine Checks with an 87 in the first round. Gives him an aggregate of 109. 109, Jason Lindley, Genuine Checks. 163 now on camp. Amy Jamieson riding CD. Amy comes from Gowie. And she's riding her own nomination. Standing by 164, Jacinta Brennan, 165, Kerry Turner. The score come through very shortly for competitor 163, Amy Jamieson and CD. Cut out 21.5 and a 16.5 in the first round. That's an aggregate of 38. It's 38 for Amy Jamieson and CD. Just waiting for the go-ahead from the judge is our next competitor, 164, Jacinta Brennan, riding Barnum City Man. At the gates, 165, Kerry Turner, Country Life. Stand by 166, Cara Knutson, Stratton Just a Girl. 167, Hallie Condon's Diego. Cut out 21.5, horsework 63.5, course 4 for an 89 with an 86 in the first round. That is an aggregate of 175 points, 175. And Jacita Brennan on Bar None City Man has, at this stage, the highest aggregate score in the McKechnie Earth Moving Open Campdraft. Cut out of 13.5 for Kerry Turner and Country Life with a 76.5 in the first round. That's a total of 90. 90 there for Kerry Turner and Country Life. This is our Mundubra horsewoman, Cara Knutson, with Stratton Just a Girl. She comes in as competitor 166. Standing by 167, Hayley Condon, 168. Oliver Solano. 169, Lane Mauler, 170, Brett Staines, 171, Jackie Knutson, 172, Arton Smith, 173, Susan Dynastis. And unfortunately, that's a no score there for Cara. She had a 20.5 in the first round, which gives her an aggregate of 20.5. So when the camp is clear, I'm just having a little tidy up. We will continue on with competitor 167, Hallie Condon and Diego. Standing by then, 168, Oliver Solano. 169, Lane Mauler. 170, Brett Staines. 171, Jackie Knutson. 172, Arton Smith. 173, Susan Dynastis. 174, Kylie Graham. 175, Tim Hollis. 176, Ben Hall. 177, Bo Butel. And 178, Stuart Wallace. Unfortunately, no score there for Hayley Condon and Diego. She had an 83.5 in the first round, so that's an aggregate of 83.5. We'll have a score coming through shortly for competitor 168. We should have 169 on camp, Lane Mauler, and cut out 21.5 with a 70.5 in the first round. That's an aggregate of 92 for Oliver Solano and Son of Hercules. Score for Lane Mauler and Rendition, cut out 20.5 with a 70 in the first round is an aggregate of 90.5. That's Lane Mauler and Rendition. Next competitor is 170, Brett Staines and Spike. Standing by then 171, Jackie Knutson, 172, Arden Smith, 173, Susan Dynastis, 174, Kylie Graham, 175, Tim Hollis. Unfortunately, no score there for 170. Brett Staines and Spike had a 21 in the first round. That's an aggregate of 21. 171 is next in. As soon as we've cleared the camp, that'll be Jackie Knutson and Josie. Stand by 172. Arden Smith, 173. Susan Dynastis, 174. Kylie Graham, 175. Tim Hollis.